Hi friends, it's Becky and I'm going to be making a beaded chain necklace with you. This video is going to be one where I don't do any edits or make things ahead of time in order to save time. It's going to be a longer video. It's going to be real time, starting at the very beginning where I pull out the beads that I'm going to be using and I make some design decisions as to how things are going to lay, and then I'm going to make every single bead on camera with you. This is something that I discussed and got some feedback, and some of you said that yes, you would definitely love to sit back, relax, and watch while I make the entire thing from start to finish. A lot of my other videos, I save time by making links ahead of time and just demonstrating one or two and then putting things together on camera with you. But for this one, we're gonna not do that. If you would rather skip ahead to just making the links and then putting this stuff together, go ahead and do that. I will, after this has been uploaded and I know what the timestamps are, I will put those timestamps in the description below with a little link to exactly where it starts for each of those sections. Making the links, starting the links anyway, and then another one for putting the links together to make the chain, so that if you just want the tutorial part, you can watch just those parts. But otherwise, if you're ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with me, I'm going to be jumping back into the Citrus Celebration Sam's Bead Box that Deb Floros curated, and this box was, in my opinion, a spectacularly fantastic bridge between the bright summer colors and the warm fall colors that we see, because we have all of these lovely oranges in addition to the bright citrusy colors. So I'm gonna pull out like all of these melon beads over here on this side, and we're gonna have ourselves some melon bead links that I'm gonna make with those. And you know what? Let's just pull all of these out. Get these carnelian ones out here too. So we've got our Czech glass melons. We've got our carnelian pumpkins. I'm gonna grab these Czech glass flowers as well. These ones that look like orange slices, let's get them out. I'm feeling fall colors, so I'm probably not going to be doing like all of these as links, but I want them out here while I'm making those decisions. So that's why I'm pulling them out. And we've got this gorgeous lotus, the carved lotus. Let's get this guy, and I think I want some greens. Let's add some greenery to this. I'm gonna grab these green bicones in this section. Pull those pink ones out. Maybe set them there. There we go. And some of these, it looks like we have some green flowers as well. All right. So maybe some of them, and those green beads, and these guys. All right, now I'm probably not going to use all of these, but I think this is a good starting point for some fall jewelry pieces. You know what I might do is set a couple of these aside for a bracelet or two. Like let's use this in a bracelet. I think these would be fantastic. Maybe. All right, we'll do that maybe after the necklace. All right, let's set those aside for now. All right. So this and this I'll use to make a focal. And then maybe one of these pumpkins on either side. And one of these. And then another pumpkin. And then my carnelian buddies. Then another pumpkin maybe. And then another one of these. Pumpkin, pumpkin. Let's do earrings with those two. All right. And then I can add or subtract from here. Maybe 2 more of these. And where are these gonna go? How about, can I pair them up with each of these on their links? Is there enough of those for that? There is enough of these square beads. Perfect. All right. All right. Okay. Now for the wire that I'm going to be using for these, I'm going to be using some 20 gauge copper, antique copper color, because it's such a great fall vibes kind of a color for this. I also have some tier cast clasps, well, a tier cast clasp from my stash that I'd like to use for it. I've got some wire working tools, some chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, 6-step bill making pliers, and I just got these double-sided flush cutters. So I'm going to be using this for cutting some of my wire for this. So let's see. I'm just going to cut this. This is about, let's see, it's 14 centimeters. So that's about 5 inches of wire. And I'm going to make myself a loop that will fit through this carnelian stone. And I'll use my bail making pliers for that, because I'm going to want a loop that is wider than this. That might be this one right here. Okay, yes. That's going to be a good loop for that. So I'm going to bend it back this way first, and then around this loop. Shift that out of the way, continue all the way around, so that I get a loop that is crossing over here. So now that I've got my loop formed, I'm going to use my pliers real quick to work hard in it to keep this loop loopy and not have it change shape when I'm wrapping this. And I'm just doing that by giving the wire a little bit of a smush with my pliers and the flat side of my pliers. Alright, so now that that is looped, I'm going to swing that open like you would a jump ring and get this strung on, looped on to this carnelian piece. I think maybe, oof, there we go. And I did have to actually deform it in order to get this to work, because this hole in here is straight and not curved. I should have taken that into account, but I did not. That's okay though. I'm just going to do a couple of loops around here. Alright, now this is going to be more difficult to get a snip right in here. So this may be a situation where a flush cutter instead of a double flush is going to be more useful, so you can get right up next to the end of your wire. But these mean that I don't have to like snip off bits of my wire when I'm making things, because every time I cut, it'll be a flush cut. Alright, now let's get my green star on top, like so. And this is not very straight, so let's just straighten that out a little bit. And I think I want to, when I make this loop, I'm going to want this to curve around the front of my star. Yep, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to bend the wire this way, and I don't need a super large loop for this part, so I'm just going to use my round nose pliers. Bring that around, open and rotate, and bring the wire around to the other side, and hold on to it, hold on to the loop while I bring this around. Alright, and here's the part where I'm going to just cross in front of this star. Hopefully this will keep it from rotating, especially if I kind of press that down into it a little bit. And I'm going to rotate this around this part here. Just tucking that bit in. All right. Now I am ready to start making my links for the rest of this. So y'all are going to get to see me do some what are they called? A bunch of different links. So yeah, go get something to drink. All of these are going to be just the single bead. And shall we do wrapped loops? I think we should do some wrapped loops, because I can always use or make jump rings to link them together. Or we can loop them as we make them. Let's loop them as we make them, or loop them together on the second wrap. Alright. Now I'm just straightening this out with my fingers. You just run it gently through your fingers, and it'll straighten it out and warm it up so it's easier to use. And let's make all of our orange slices first. And I'm going to be doing some wrapped loops. So, wrapped loops are going to be using my round nose pliers about 1.5 inches to 2 inches down from the top. I bend it back first, like that. And then I push this over the top, rotate my pliers so that it can go all the way around. And I am going to be wrapping this end of each of my links. Just that first initial loop, going around about 3 times. And then this is the part where you would use flush cutters, not the double flush, because I think the double flush makes it a little bit harder to get right up next to your wire. That way you have a loop right there. And this is why I pre-string it onto my wire so that I can push my bead up, and then from the bottom of my bead to about 2.5 fingers down. I'm going to use this to cut it there. That's how much wire I want on here. Alright, so for the second loop, I just put my chain nose pliers right here at the bottom and bend this over, away from me. You can bend it towards yourself if you want, but for me it works a little bit better in my head if I bend it away first. And then grasp it with your round nose pliers. And when you're grabbing this, don't like death grip it. Just hold it. And then push this up and over. Let go of it and rotate. And then bring it around. Just like that. Now, I'm going to leave this without wrapping it because we're going to be doing the wrapping when we put all of these links together. Instead, I'm going to move on and make my next link. So I'm going to make all of these links, and I'm going to leave one end of each of these links unwrapped. And I'm probably, get ready for it, I'm going to, at some point, forget and start wrapping that second link. And there might be cursing. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling about things when we get there. Because then I'll have to undo it, snip open my link, and start over again with that one. It happens. I forget sometimes, and I will close my link before I get to where I need it to be. But yeah, I'm just going to be doing this for the entire time. Do I need to do 6 of these? Yeah, I'm gonna do 6. And the wire isn't super straight right here, so it's scooching down it a little bit, a little roughly. I'm trying to think of conversation. Oh, see, I started doing it. Leave it, Becky, leave it. All right. See, this is the part where I would be making all of these off camera and then coming back and putting all of them together, or even linking them together off camera so that we could just put the whole necklace together. Okay, I'm not using those. What are these? There are just too many kinks in this wire right now, so I'm straightening it out. Perfect. So 2 more of these. You could use a second pair of pliers to wrap these around the stem if you wanted. A lot of people do. I'm just using my fingers initially. But here at the very end, I think it needs a little extra oomph for wrapping. There we go. That's a better wrap. That one's going to be a little short, but that's okay. Because I'm a little short. There you go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, I like antique copper or antique vintage bronze for fall jewelry. Gold is also great for fall jewelry, and that's the metal that came with this box, was gold. Again, I'm just using this wire because it's making me feel all fall vibey. Alright, so those are done. Let's get our 4 carnelian melons. I'll do the same on them. It's basically the same style of link that we're making. They're all wrapped loops. I am going to add one of these onto there. Yeah. I like that. Once again, I'm going to leave that end unwrapped. I'm measuring 3 fingers wide because I am adding an extra bead onto the top of it. Right there. Stop. I almost started wrapping that. Oh my goodness, yeah. It's super easy for me to get into a groove and just keep going and just keep going. So that happens when I turn off my brain and I just go on autopilot mode, which can be really nice sometimes. We are doing a couple of different projects at work and we're having to do some training as well. So my brain can really use some autopilot right now to just make something after doing a whole bunch of thinky things at work, to have something where I can just start going and not think too much about what I'm doing. Now I am thinking about what I'm doing right now because, you know, trying to come up with things and all of that, but this repetitive motion thing where I'm making some of the same things over and over. There we go. It can be very calming. It can be very relaxing. It can help me get my jumble of things in my brains a little bit more sorted out when I can distract part of my brain with tasks like this. Yeah, that wrapping is not looking great. So I'm going to just cut you off right there and call it good. Whew. Sometimes Wire wrapping is a little more like a battlefield. Things aren't working the way you want them to. Yeah, I'm happy. I grabbed these bicones. I am very happy with the way they look with these. So they're all open. I don't have any closed loops anywhere. I'm real proud of myself for that because I caught myself twice at least doing them that way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 and 6. That's each. And I'm going to do these 6 at a time because I think it would be too much to have all of them on here at once. So what I want to do is get them in the same order that they will be on their link, which is going to be just like that. Each link is going to be exactly that. Just get them strung onto the wire beforehand. Yeah, I don't know if this helps any of y'all to see how I make multiple links at the same time. Several in a row. This was just a glorious bead box. I was so happy about it. Like again, it was the one that was curated by Deb Floros from Deb Loves Jewelry. Deb Loves Jewelry Divine. She is a fantastic jewelry designer. She does a lot of tutorials with other bead companies like is it Art Beads? Jesse James Beads, and she's got her own designs that she does as well. And she's just got such a really fun and funky way of putting beads together and all of that fun stuff. So it was so fantastic to get this box full of these colors from her, and some of them are colors that aren't outside of my comfort zone. I have learned to embrace orange, especially these warm fall oranges. I've learned how to do that when I started making jewelry because they're just so beautiful. Just gorgeous colors and the way that they look together. So I got that one over there. I used to always stay away from oranges and yellows. Not so much greens. Greens look good on me for sure. The reason I grasped this on top here, I don't know if I explained it earlier, is so that after I make this bend, I have this space between my bead and my bend to wrap my second loop around the stem there. So even though I'm not wrapping it while I'm doing it, I have that space for when I am wrapping and am putting those together. Look at that, we're nearly halfway done with this part. But Yeah, my new Sam's Bead Box, the one for September, it is on its way to my house, and it should be delivered tomorrow. I won't be doing an unboxing until after the official unboxing. When there is an official unboxing, I like to wait until after that to make mine public, but I'm excited for the next one too because I love Deb, but I also love Danielle Wicks. She has such an eye for color, and she's the one who curated the September bead box. So I am really excited about what kind of colors we're going to see, what kind of projects she's got in mind. She does a lot of seed bead projects, so we'll probably get a really cool bead mix that she put together. I'm just guessing. I haven't seen it yet, so I know some of my friends have actually gotten their September one, and I have been assured that I am going to love it. So I knew I was going to already, but I'm very excited to see what's in there. Last year when Danielle curated the bead box, she did that coffee time one, which I absolutely loved, and it just so coincided because it was also September with when I was doing my September chain challenge last year too. So I did an asymmetric necklace last year with the coffee time bead box, which is still one of my all-time favorites, and I used a ceramic coffee mug charm in it that I had gotten from Softflex. And it was just so much fun to make and so much fun to put together. Just such a fun idea. So we will see pretty soon what is in that box. But for the time being, I can at least get my fall on with Deb's box. Yeah, I think definitely adding the grain was like a good choice. I'm enjoying this combination immensely. All right, 2 more, and then we can do the second group of 6. You know, I may do the bracelet and earrings separately in a different video. Yeah, I think that is what I'm deciding to do. I'm just going to do the necklace in this video, and I will do the bracelet and earrings in a separate second video. Just because I am going to need to, when I'm finished making this, go make dinner. Because life does not stop for beading as much as I wish it would. It just keeps going. And we do need to eat. It's important. So yeah, I think a second video with the bracelet and earrings would just be a really good way to break this up, because otherwise this will end up being like a 3-hour video, and you know, it's not like it's great cinematographish. It's not like it's great cinema. Like there's no score, there's no sweeping vistas or anything like that. So yeah, well, that was a little on the short side. That's okay. Okay, so pro tip. Snip the wire, not your fingers. It did not break the skin. I'm fine. I stopped before that happened when I realized what was happening. But yeah, don't snip your fingers. That'll end badly. See, I'm fine. All right. So there's that 6. So like putting it all together, there's going to be a lot of wire wrapping. Get ready for that. But we are almost done with our first loop on most of these. Let's grab that next 6. And again, I'm straightening out the wire, just running it through my fingers. You can, if there's a lot of bends in it, you can bend it along like your thumb or something, and then bend it along your other finger, just a little bit back and forth gently. And that really tends to smooth it out and make it nice and warm, which makes it more pliable and easier to work with. I'm just getting these guys all on here like that. Yeah, I've got 2 of these little star beads between them because they bookend the melon beads. So that one belongs to that melon bead, and this one belongs to this melon bead. And that's why I had to lay them out, because I need twice as many of these little green stars as I do melon beads. Alright, and then just one on the end. There we go. So that's the next 6. See, if I string like 27 beads on here at once, it's gonna be too many beads over here on this side. But just stringing a few of them in a row works great. Because it's going to be 2 different sides to my necklace. So I'm dividing them up. And what I will end up doing is probably stringing them together, both sides of the necklace together, and then attaching them both to my focal at the same time. Yeah, that's what we'll do. But yeah, I think it's about time for me to use one of these terra cast things. Like, you know, I'm sure we all had things that we got from TierraCast and that we decided to start hoarding, but it's going to be, I think, a perfect addition to this necklace, so I am going to use it. Because I know I heard that they were going to be starting up again, but I don't know when that's going to be, and I don't know when their products will be available. Anyway, that's what I heard. I don't know any of the details on that. Any of them. I am out of the loop as far as that goes. But I think that would be great if they could find a way to keep manufacturing or start fresh and new, because they made fantastic findings. Just some of the best. That one's a little extra long. That's fine though. It just gives me more leverage when I'm pushing it around. Well, I feel like I am wasting a little more wire when I have a longer piece of wire that's wrapping around versus a shorter one. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, and then we can start putting it together. So I think less than an hour to put together, or to make all of my links. It'll probably be another 20 minutes to put it all together. Probably. Because it is going to involve a lot of wrapping the ends of wire around the others. Where's my other end of, where's bead? There it goes. Get back there. Gravity! Whomst amongst us has not been a victim of gravity? Gravity. My nemesis. Okay, let me double check my placements and how these are going to go. I think it was the orange first, then these guys, and then a pumpkin, right? And then this guy, and an orange, and a melon, and then a pumpkin, and then this guy, and an orange, and a pumpkin. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to start with this guy because he's at the very end, and I am going to hook him onto the next one in the series. So once he's hooked on there, now I can go ahead and wrap this wire down around this stem until I get to my beads. And snip off my excess. And that's it. We're going to keep going all the way along, building that chain with all of these guys together. Yes, I like the way that these links look together. Good job, Deb, picking the good beads. I'm trying to get this end tucked in, wrapped around a little bit better. There we go. Oh, should I have... Now that's going to be hanging like that. I should have had that going the other way. You know what? It's okay, because I can turn these chains around. I can have them go either way that I want. Yeah. Yeah, okay. As long as I'm consistent with which ends are pointing up and down, and it should be okay. I like with the green on top. It makes it look like a pumpkin. Whoop. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I just really feel pumpkin-y. A few years ago, and I don't normally like decorate for fall, but a few years ago I got the urge to knit some little decorative pumpkins. You know, you knit the pumpkins and then you stuff them with stuff, and then you set them on a shelf or something next to some leaves that you've knit. And I have those. They are my fall decor. But I just, you know, it happened. I suddenly was like, I cannot stop knitting pumpkins. I have to keep knitting pumpkins. And it's entirely possible that I may spend this fall adding pumpkins to all of the jewelry that I make. It's possible. We'll see. I may get tired of it by the middle of October. I don't know. It might be that I'll hit November and I'll be like, okay, now I'm ready to start making Christmas trees out of everything. I don't know what my whims, where my whims will take me. We'll find out though. Do you guys ever get those like decorative whims where you're like, I have to make a bunch of these, where I can't stop, you know, when was it, a couple years ago too? Like I think actually the pumpkins thing was like 5 years ago, 4 or 5. It was a while ago. But then like last year, not last year, the year before, I was into painting pumpkins. So like I just kept painting them over and over again. Just these little watercolor pumpkins everywhere, all the time. I couldn't stop. Just had to keep painting pumpkins. They're really fun to paint. I don't know where my pumpkin obsession comes from, honestly. But, I mean, I guess there are worse things that I could be obsessed with. Gnomes. Frogs. Mushrooms. Oh no. Now I want to paint mushrooms. I should not have thought of that. This is what happens when I let my thoughts wander. They go into dark mushroomy corners. I did just start a new embroidery project that has mushrooms on it. So, you know, maybe that's where I'll end up this fall. I don't know. Maybe it'll be leaves. Maybe I'll just be like, nope, we're doing leaves. 'Cause I already did some leaves today. One more, and then oof, it will be done. For one side, and then we can start linking together the other side. Hooray! All right. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and wrap this link because anything else that I connect this to at this point, I'm going to be using jump rings for. So I don't need this to be open. So whether this end is connected to the pendant that we made or whether it's connected to the closure, it will be connected with some jump rings. I was just trying to tuck that in a little bit. Right, so that is one strand done. I'm just going to double check. Okay. Yep, that will definitely be long enough for a necklace. I like it. I like it. It's very, very fall vibes, autumn vibes. It's exactly what we were going for. Alright, now I'm gonna want that one, and then this one, then that one, and then this one, I think, and then that one, and this one, and that one, and this one, and then that one, and then this one, and then that one. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to just start at this end and close up this link because we need this one to be closed anyway. I'm basically starting at the opposite end of where I finished on this one. we're going the other way. It doesn't matter, you don't have to do it that way. It's just what is ending up being for me and my head and the way this works. Okay, so now that that is totally closed, let's add this here. Close that up. Right. Bloop. Like that. Hooray! Sorry, I'm trying to finish up as fast as I can because it's becoming apparent that someone let my brother's dog outside and nobody else out of all the other people in this house, there are 3 other people in this house, can hear her wanting to come in. So I want to finish this and then I can go and get her. Hold on. I guess I'm editing this. We're gonna do it with no edits. I need to go take care of my brother's dog because nobody else cares about her. Alright, I'm back. And we are still working on a necklace. Alright, my friends, what is your favorite thing about fall? Is it fall flavors? Is it scents? Is it getting to wear cold weather clothes? I have not always lived in Texas. I did grow up in Phoenix, but then I've also lived in like Utah and in England. And, you know, places where they have an actual factual fall where you can smell the air get colder when there's a crispness to it, where you can get a little bit of a bite when the wind blows into you, where having a jacket and maybe some gloves on feels nice. Being a knitter most of the time, the only times I get to wear my knitwear lately is in the air conditioning. If the air conditioning is up too high, then I can grab a sweater and put it on. You know? Or is it like the flavors of fall that you look forward to the most, like pumpkin spice everything? There are some decidedly just about fall flavors here in Texas, like hatch chili season. That's right now when HEB makes everything with hatch chilies in it. Alright, I have this link and the next link, and then both ends of my chain will be done. One more. And then the next part is going to be just putting it all together. Each end. So I've got one end of my chain, got another end of my chain. I've got the focal that we made at the beginning. I have some jump rings. And I'm going to open this jump ring, and I'm going to attach both of those together like that. Go. And then this jump ring for this end. Perfect. All right. Now, let's finish making this, and then I can go make dinner, because I think it's important that I eat something, because I don't think I should have been as upset as I was about my brother's dog being left out. I may have overreacted a little bit on that. I'm being a little bit annoyed. There we go. She's like a 14-year-old Chiweenie. She's very old. She doesn't have teeth. One of her hind legs doesn't work quite right. So she waddles and goes very slowly and uses her tail as a corkscrew to keep from drifting to the side too much. She's a real sweetheart, and we love her. But sometimes I am taking care of her in addition to mine, which is fine because, you know, all the dogs like to hang out with each other sometimes. Hey, go on, buddy. But yeah, I'm just realizing that my overreaction there might have been a little bit of the hangries. But look at this. Look what we've done. Start to finish, pulling out the beads, figuring out the design, and then putting everything together. And now I have a beautiful fall necklace that I can wear to a pumpkin patch or out to get a pumpkin spice latte. Or just, you know, on one of those days when the high drops down to 80, finally. Oh, man. But yeah, I love these beautiful gemstones and Czech glass beads. And all of these came in the Sam's Bead Box for August. Once again, that was the one that's curated by Deb Floros. There is a September bead box that some of you have already gotten to see. I haven't yet. It gets here tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. But I am absolutely in love with it. Thank you for sticking with me this whole time, my friends. And if you jumped ahead, thanks for jumping ahead and watching parts of this. I enjoy having y'all here, and I'm really grateful that you enjoy spending a little bit of your day with me. Hopefully you had some fun, some relaxation, some just making stuff time with Becky. And I hope you have a fantastic, fantastic evening, week, weekend, all of that. If you want to see some of the other beaded chain projects that I've been making for my challenge, I am making at least 2 beaded chain necklaces a week for the month of September, and this is project number 2 for this week. I did a bead woven chain necklace couple days ago, but I think I'll still have maybe one more before the end of the week. I am also still planning on doing a beading and painting video this week, so look forward to that. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I will talk with you later. Happy beading!